I'm gonna call this 247B because we're back at the BMV. Poet didn't know it. Don't fly right before the check ride. And I'm making this video because, you know, we talked a week or so ago about my daughter and her trying to get through the check ride. And check ride, driver's test, check ride, it's the same thing. So she failed, right? So the last week and a half, I'm Mr. Motivator, trying to get her, you know, pumped up, come back and retest. Today I pick her up, she says she's nervous and she wants to go out and practice parallel parking right before driving down here, 20 minutes before arriving. I go against the grain, right? And even though I think it's not a good idea, she don't like listening to Dad, right? So I said, all right. So we go to do parallel parking. And what happens? She gets all scared and frustrated and is in tears 15 minutes before coming to take the test. So, back to kind of what I tried telling her before. We did this last time. And she didn't fail on the parallel parking. She did great. She did good on the driving. And it was this indecision making. So today she wants to parallel park again. And I'm like, okay. This is why I recommend not flying right before the check ride. Like the morning of. You're trying to fix something the last minute. When you're down to the wire, I'm telling you, it's almost never good. The person ends up going into the test, and maybe it's the day of, the morning of, the night before. It's just like how I preach about getting all the paperwork done 3 weeks in advance. Get the flight training done, and honestly, a couple of days before the test, be freaking done. Last minute, you know, going over paperwork and those kinds of things. I do not think practicing maneuvers right before the check ride is good. Almost never. I'll say 95% of the times, and I've sent hundreds of people for check rides. And I always try to discourage them flying right before the flight. And sometimes they push, and I'll say, all right, it's against what I think you ought to do, but you want to do it, let's go see. And they usually end up frustrated. It's just the way it works out. So hopefully she'll come back and have passed today. And she's like, well, what if I fail again, Dad? I'm like, you never give up. We'll do it again. She's, you know, got herself in a complete uproar, and I had to go, you know, I had to come up with all the motivational stuff that I talk about in these Coffee with Kenny videos. And I'm like, you know, I got to live up to my word, right? I'm the motivator. I'm the guy saying you fail, you do it again. You fail, you do it again. And you try harder and you work harder and you keep going back until you freaking get done. I'm nervous. And I'm not normally like that. And hopefully she'll come back. Last time I jinxed it, I think, because I took pictures of her inside, you know, like at a check ride, getting the paperwork ready. And I took pictures of them out in the parking lot getting ready to go. And a little bit of video as they drove away, and I videoed them coming in. And I'm getting ready to take pictures as she's walking up and she's looking at me shaking her head, right? That's the same way I don't video and take pictures of somebody on solo. That could be, you know, I feel like I would jinx it, right? And I don't do a lot of video of somebody right before I test either, because I just feel like it's bad mojo. All right, leave your comments down below what you think about flying right before a check ride. Do you think it's okay? Or do you think you got to be done flying like a day or two, give yourself some time to chill? And that's why I tried telling Gloria, the nervousness of the test, you end up usually doing way better than what you expect. And I've seen it hundreds of times over the years. Somebody is so freaked out and they fly better the day of the test than they did the 2 days prior when we were finishing up. The closer you get to the check ride, you usually fly like shit. And that's just it. So, like, subscribe, leave a comment down below what you think. We'll see you day 248.